Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. So we recently got the confirmation from Blizzard that in the War Within, most of your flying mounts will be available with Dragonriding or also Dynamic Flying, which is basically the same thing. So this is something that I think a lot of players are really happy with and something overall that is really good for the game. However, as of right now, there are still 21 mounts that are not included in this list, and what I will do in today's video is simply go through all these different mounts. So of course keep in mind that maybe this will change before the War Within is released, and maybe some of the different mounts that I will be talking about in today's video will be added to the list of Dragonriding mounts in the War Within. So please keep that in mind, because again, if some of your favorite mounts are part of the 21 mounts that didn't make it to the list so far, they might still get Dragonriding later on before the expansion is launched. Also, as you can imagine, it means that any of the different mounts that I won't be mentioning in today's video will get Dragonriding or also Dynamic Flying. So this is something important, because if your favorite mounts are not part of this list, this is actually good, and it means that you will be able to use Dragonriding with them. So let's start with our first mount on this list, and this is the Amalgam of Rage. So this mount was a promotional reward from Diablo 4, and as you can see, this is a really cool mount and very unique, I have to say. So this mount has been removed from the game, and maybe it will be re-added at some point, especially through the trading post, but so far you cannot get it in the game. After that, we're gonna have another mount, and this one I think a lot of you are gonna be a little bit disappointed about, and this is Adar, Harbringer of Dawn. So this mount is part of the list of all these different mounts that didn't make it to the cut, but I'm pretty sure Blizzard will add it before the War Within is released, because this is one of their very cool mounts from the trading post. It was also something people were able to buy from the shop. And I think if this mount is one of the only ones that cannot use Dragonriding, it's gonna defeat the purpose of buying this mount for any new players. So after that, we have actually 3 different mounts, and these are all these different Aurelid Mounts. So all these different Aurelid Mounts, sadly, right now don't have the Dragonriding option. And this is probably due to the fact that they have a very specific model, and there's a lot of things happening with the mount in itself. It's already moving a lot. But all I know is that these 3 mounts right here, right now you won't be able to use them with Dragonriding in the War Within. After that, we're gonna have another mount that I think some of you might be a little bit sad about, and this is the Heartseeker Mana Ray. So this is the new mount from the Love is in the Air that I'm sure many of you have, and sadly, this mount is not part of the list as of yet. Again, keep in mind a lot of the different Mana Rays that we have, including all these ones that are exactly the same model, have Dragonriding in the War Within, so probably it's just something that they haven't had the time to work on yet, because this is the exact same model. After that, we also have this mount right here, Kua'Fon. So Kua'Fon is a mount from Battle for Azeroth, and I'm not sure exactly why, but again, this is not part of the list of mounts you will be able to use with Dragonriding. So I think not a lot of people are really going to be sad about this one, and again, most likely it will be added to the list later on. After that, we have Maelie, the Wanderer. So this is a mount from Shadowlands. And this one, again, I'm pretty sure it will at some point be added, because a lot of these different horse mounts are all part of the list of Dragonriding mounts in the War Within, including, for instance, all the different prestigious mounts, and also, for instance, the Pure Heart Courser, which is exactly the same mount. So I do think it's just probably because Blizzard didn't have the time yet to apply this change to this specific mount, Maelie, but most likely it will be added to the list later on. After that, we have the Majestic Peafowl. So this is one of the recent mounts from the trading post, and this one is also part of the list of mounts that you won't be able to use with Dragonriding. It's interesting because a lot of these different really high res and recent mounts from the trading post or the shop are not part of the list, and maybe it's because they all have such unique animations and colors and everything that Blizzard has to put a little bit extra work into making them Dragonriding. Another one that honestly this one I really think they need to add it as part of this list of Dragonriding mounts, and this is the Otterwordly Ottuk carrier. So this is the mounts that you can get when you get 500 mounts and you get the achievement thanks for the carry, and this is a really cool mount overall. So probably the reason why this mount hasn't been added to the list yet is because this is, I believe, the only otter mount that can actually fly. And so probably Blizzard just hasn't had a chance yet to work on that and making it into a Dragonriding mount. Or maybe they will keep it like that simply because it's only for one mount and they maybe don't want to invest the time and efforts into making it a Dragonriding mount. Then we have the Red Flying Cloud. So this is another interesting mount that you won't be able to use. So this one is from Mist of Pandaria, and one thing that is interesting is the fact that we're actually going to get a few more of these with the WoW Time Running Pandemonium event in patch 10.2.7. So I'm pretty sure for that reason specifically they will make it at some point a Dragonriding mount. And also, for instance, let's keep in mind that the Compass Rose is Dragonriding. So I'm pretty sure they can already reuse some of the effects from the Compass Rose in order to apply them directly to these different cloud mounts. After that, we have the Winter Wildering. So this one is another mount from Shadowlands. And again here, I do believe this one will be added because some of the other mounts that use the same model have been added to the list. So after that, we have a few more mounts that won't make it to the list, and these include the Zeneth Hatchling right here from Dragonflight, the Bestowed Ona Spotter, and also the Duskwing Ona. So one thing that is interesting is the fact that the Divine Kiss of Onahara that uses basically the same model without a few things is part of the list, and again, that's the reason why I think these different mounts will also be part of the list later on. It's just a matter of time. After that, we have this other mount right here, and this is the Imaginwing. So this is another mount from Dragonflight, and one thing that is surprising again about this one is the fact that the other mounts that share this model are part of the list. And so again, probably one of these mounts that will be added later on. And just because of the texture of the mount, so far Blizzard hasn't had the time to work on it. Then we have this one right here, Jade Bright Foreseeker, which is the rabbit mount. And again, right now, this is the only one from all these different Chinese New Year mounts that isn't part of the list. But most likely it will be added at some point because otherwise it defeats the purpose of buying this mount from the shop. Then we have this one right here, the Liberated Sylvern. So this mount from Dragonflight is not part of the list yet. And this is interesting because there is another one of these different mounts that is also not part of the list. And as you can see, this is the Temperamental Skyclaw. So I'm not sure exactly if these will at some point be added to the Dragonriding system, but right now this model is not part of the list. Then we have this one right here, the Ravenous Black Gryphon. And so again, this model is part of the list in some ways, so probably something that will be added at some point. And the last item on our list is this mount right here, the Wondrous Wavewhisker, again from the shop. So this is one of the fish mounts, and one interesting thing about this model is the fact that we're getting some reskins in patch 10.2.7. These will be old god fish basically, and I'm pretty sure that for that reason this mount will be added to the Dragonriding system. It's just a matter of time. So that's pretty much it for all the different mounts that sadly right now are not part of this list. Again, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that most of them will at some point be added into this list of Dragonriding mounts. Maybe it will take a little bit more time, maybe it will happen after the release of the War Within, but I'm pretty confident that in the future Blizzard is going to make sure that any mounts in the game that can fly can also be used with Dragonriding, simply because otherwise no one will ever use these mounts again, and I think Blizzard really wants to avoid that. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a great day. Bye!